and I finally have the Redmi Note 5 Pro's camera review for you guys. Xiaomi really stepped up the camera game amongst budget devices with the Mi A1, and with the Redmi Note 5 Pro, they want to take this game even further. These vertical dual cameras look exactly like the ones on the iPhone 10, and depending on your design taste, you might or might not like that. It doesn't matter to me as long as these sensors are capable of taking good images. Main camera has a 12 megapixel sensor with a 2.2 aperture. Secondary camera has a 5 megapixel sensor with a f2.2 aperture, and this sensor is used for capturing depth information for the portrait shots. You cannot switch between the lenses while taking images or videos, so the secondary camera is only used for portrait shots. At this moment, video capture is limited to 1080p at 30 frames per second, but Xiaomi says that 4K video capture should be coming in one of the future software updates. If you want to shoot 4K videos right now, you can use third-party camera apps like OpenCamera. There is no optical stabilization, but the 1080p videos are electronically stabilized. There is a dual LED single color flash which sits between these two cameras. At the front, you get a 20 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture and a pixel size of 1 micron. You also have a dedicated front-facing flash. And now you can take HDR and portrait mode images with the front-facing camera as well. Interface on the camera app is a bit different on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. You can now switch between various modes by swiping to the left or right. Now before we get to the image and video samples, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the amazing videos coming up. The images in daylight are vivid and sharp. You can see a lot of details being captured in these images. Color balance is accurate for most part, which is something Mi A1 struggled at in certain situations. Camera of the Redmi Note 5 Pro will be closely compared with the likes of Honor 7X, Mi A1 and the Moto G5s Plus. And looking at these images, I think it is performing very well so far. Colors appear to be bright and vivid. They are slightly more saturated than some of Xiaomi's other smartphones, but that also makes these images look really good. It uses face detection for autofocus, and the focusing speed is a lot better than that of the Mi A1. Close-up shots are crisp and detailed. These are normal close-up shots and not portrait shots, but you can still see the background being blurred out really well thanks to the f2.2 aperture. It might take a bit longer to focus in lower lighting conditions, but be patient and it will latch on the focus. There is no auto HDR mode, so you will have to switch it on and off in situations like these. In some situations like these, HDR mode can be a bit too aggressive, but in the end, I like how the image turned out to be. Look at the dynamic range in this shot. We have the sun peeking in from behind the building, and still we can make out the colors and details on the coconut tree. You need a very good camera to capture such amazing dynamic range. Here is a shot of me against a bright background. Since this is shot with HDR turned on, you can see the building in the background, and at the same time you can also see me. You can edit this picture to bring up the shadows on my face, and the image now looks really good. Secondary lens is used only while capturing portrait images, and the results are truly amazing. The imaging algorithm works really well and differentiates the subject from the background very nicely. The linear blurring to the background looks very natural to the eyes, and the edge detection is also very polished here. Even with a bright light source in the background, the portrait mode did a good job in this image. Portrait images of non-human subjects turned out to be equally impressive. Just look at how well it differentiates between the subject and the background. I will have to compare this with the Mi A1, Honor 7X and the Moto G5s Plus to see how it performs against the portrait mode images of those cameras. But looking at these images individually, they look really good. When you move to lower lighting conditions, it still captures good colors. The image algorithm keeps noise level under control for most of the part, but the images are not sharpest or most detailed in these lighting conditions. Since there is no OIS, the shutter cannot be open for a longer time to capture more information. But the good thing is, most of these images look very good as long as you don't zoom in or try to pixel peep on them. Some of the images, even in low lighting conditions, turn out really great. The front-facing camera can take sharp and detailed selfies, and you can now take portrait images with the front-facing camera as well. These images are bright, sharp, and the blurring algorithm again does a very good job. There is no secondary lens at the front, so all of the blurring is achieved via software, which makes this camera even more impressive. Some of the shots from the front facing camera are overexposed, but you can easily tap on the screen and adjust the exposure to your liking before you click the image. Now coming to videos. You can shoot 1080p videos and these are super smooth thanks to electronic stabilization. One of my biggest gripe with the Mi A1 was that the video from it was really bad. But I am so glad that Xiaomi has fixed this with the Redmi Note 5 Pro. You can't shoot 4K videos with the native camera app as of now. But with a third-party app like Open Camera, you can record 4K videos. These 4K videos are not stabilized and they are not of very high bitrate. And that is the reason they don't look the best. So as we saw from these image and video samples, we finally have a great set of cameras on a Redmi smartphone. These dual cameras are way better than the camera on Xiaomi's own flagship, the Mi Mix 2. And this can very well be on its way to be the best camera on any smartphone in under 15,000 rupees. If you are looking to buy a smartphone at around 15,000 rupees and wanted to have a very good set of cameras, look no further than the Redmi Note 5 Pro. I think it is going to be tough for the competition to come up with smartphones having cameras this good at this price. But I am still looking forward to the Moto G6 Plus. Maybe Moto might surprise us by giving even better set of cameras than these. Looking at these image and video samples, what are your thoughts about the camera on the Redmi Note 5 Pro? Let me know in the comment section. I will compare the camera on this phone with a lot of other phones in this price range in the coming days, so keep your eyes on that. That is it for this video guys. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel for more quality tech videos like this. You can also check out some of the other videos from this channel. This has been Sagar and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.